What's up, guys? Today, I am going to be talking about how to attract good and healthy people into your life. The reason I'm talking about this is because I understand one very simple concept, and it is that the environment that you have around you and that you curate is going to define and affect where you're going to be going in the future. So essentially, if you have a goal right now, you want to become a firefighter, you want to become a chef, you want to be a better father, mother, you want to be a better son or daughter, a better friend, better in a relationship, whatever it might be, you have to set an aspiration, set a goal to get there, and have to have values and actions that line up with those values. So for instance, if you want to be a good boyfriend, you can't cheat, you can't lie, you can't steal. You can't be going down all these negative paths here and then say, I want to be a good boyfriend. Your actions don't match your values, which don't match your aspirations. So with that being said, how do we go and actually achieve those things? If we have a bad environment around us, does it allow us to achieve those things? I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I would say no. I kind of chalk it up to, let's assume you're trying to get healthy and you go to the grocery store and you buy all unhealthy food and it's scattered all around your house, right? Do you put yourself in a position for success to get healthy, to lose weight, to build a muscle, to gain abs, whatever it might be? Probably not. However, if you go to the grocery store, you do not buy that food, do not bring it home, only buy healthy food, it's 10 p.m. at night, you want to go snack, you have an apple in the fridge, you have water to go drink, you have really no empty calories in your fridge, and if you want to, you can go out now to Walmart and go buy food, right? But who's going to go do that on a Tuesday night at 10 p.m.? Some people will, but the majority of people will say no. If my environment is curated properly, then I will be set up for success. Now, the same thing happens with your environment when it comes to your friendships. If you're an aspiring firefighter, let me ask you, what do you think is setting yourself up for success more? Having a group of people that lie, cheat, steal, smoke, do drugs, don't have their own set of goals, but they're searching for hedonism, or a set of people that have the same goal. They're taking courses, volunteerism, they're getting their resumes done, they're going to get mentorship programs for help to achieve this dream. If you're becoming a chef, they're working in the kitchen, they're going and they're perfecting their culinary skills in the kitchen every single day, getting a step better. Which environment would be better for that person? An environment of people who are not achieving goals and not working towards anything at all? Or an environment of people who are searching for the exact same thing that they're searching for? A lot of people will say, well, no, I don't know, because it's competition. I don't want to feed into my competition. That type of thinking, that is the wrong type of thinking. That is just the wrong type of thinking. Because I've heard it, someone said it before, like they go, well, the market's too saturated. If you want to get online and you want to be a fitness creator, if you want to be like any sort of business online, it's too saturated, you can't break on through. If God wants you to be there, He will push you on through as long as you're willing to do the work. It's not too saturated to do anything. There's too many chefs out there, so you're not going to become a chef? There's too many firefighters, so you're not even going to try. There's too many fitness creators, so you're just going to pack it all in and not do it because there's too many right now. That's just an excuse. The best way to do it is to believe in yourself, but set up an environment of people around you that are ready to go and they're doing it with you. Now, you say to yourself, well, how do I actually do that? Like, if I want to be an aspiring whatever, how do I find a group of people that are actually going to be also aspiring to do that? Or who are going to push me along, because they see me, I'm at like the beginning stages. I don't have anything. I just graduated pre-service. I just picked up a camera and I want to start filming videos. Like, who's going to include me in their group? And you're right, because really, like, life comes down to transactional things. And it's like, hey, what can you give to me? What can I give to you? And at the end of the day, if you have nothing to offer a group of people who have the dream that you want, they're probably not going to want to invite you. I mean, if they're nice people and they're like your friends or whatever, sure, they might say, hey, let our little brother here tag along, right? And you might be in a fortunate position as that. However, if you're not, what you have to do is this. You have to grind and work very hard, so much so that you are inevitable. So much so that they cannot not look at you and say, hey, we need to put this guy in our group. Becoming a firefighter, hey, Take a bunch of courses, become better at all of your skills. Be the individual who's going the extra mile. You're waking up early. You're staying late. You're that guy that is working harder than everybody else, because other people who are also going to be doing that are going to notice that. You're going to notice that in other people. You're going to be attracted to those people. They're going to be attracted to you. At the end of the day, you have to become it even when no one else sees you becoming that. You have to put in the work. You want to be a content creator, you got to get the camera. You got to go shoot at the gym. You got to go and put in the work when everyone looks at you and they think, what's this person doing with this camera and this good life over here? You know what I mean? You have to be willing to step out and to be a little embarrassed every now and then, to step out of your comfort zone, to have people judge you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, content creator, firefighter, chef, you're going to be judged. People are going to call you crazy. They're going to think you're absolutely ridiculous for doing what you're doing, because they're not going to see the end vision. They haven't thought about the end vision as many times as you have. And why would they? Like, why would they think of it as much as you have? God gave you this vision, not them. He didn't give it to your friends. He didn't give it to your family. He didn't give it to anybody else but you. Only you saw the blueprint here. Now you are trying to go explain that blueprint to people that are in your family, that are in your life. They're saying, hey, do you understand this? This is my dream. This is my dream. And no one else has seen this blueprint. And you're expecting them to sign off on it. Of course, they're going to say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yo, don't do that. Go back to the old job. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Stop asking other people for approval, because the reason you're going to your mom or your dad or your best friend or whoever, people you look up to, is because you're looking for their validation to say, hey, you can actually do this. I believe in you. But when you go there, the well is dry. No one validates you. So what do? Most people quit, to be completely honest, because they need 2 or 3 people to validate them. But they're missing something. God gave you the blueprint. God validated you. God said, here, I choose you, person, to go do this. I didn't choose them or them or them or them. I chose you. God validated you from the jump. But as humans, we go and look for other people to validate us. Don't do this. Understand that if God validated you, this is enough. Now, it's time to put in the work. And when the time is right, God will line you up with some other guy that lives in a different city who he also validated, and partner you guys up together to work together and to accomplish this dream. For myself, one of the biggest unlocks for me was getting closer with Jesus. And the reason I say this is because, and I'll just be completely honest with the person that I was probably about even a year ago, like maybe 6 months ago. I was the guy that would go to the gym and it's kind of embarrassing to say. I'd go to the gym and I'd be the guy with like headphones on, black sweater, hoodie, like everything like this, like, hat on. And I still wear all black at the gym, but whatever. And I would not talk to anybody because I was just too cool. I was too cool to talk to anyone. I'm the guy that I get in, I get out, I talk to no one. And then I realized that was just an excuse. In my heart, I knew it was an excuse. I knew it was fake. I knew that was just my way of saying, I talk to nobody because I don't know how to socialize properly with other people. I don't know how to say hello. I don't know how to be friendly. So it was just my excuse that I was just, playing with there to make myself feel better. Now, in that time, in that process, I was doing something else. I was coming home, reading my Bible, on my knees and praying, writing journals over here to God, talking to God every single day. And I was getting closer and closer, genuinely closer with Jesus, and going to church as well. Then one day during my year, it was Easter. There was an individual that I would see every single time at the gym, same time in the morning. But on this day, I don't know what was different. I mean, I guess in retrospect, I feel like it was God coming in, and I just talked to this person. And I said to this person, wow, man, why is this gym so packed right now? Totally forgetting that it was like Good Friday or something leading up to the holiday. And the person went, hey, yeah, because it's like a holiday. Like, do you not have a calendar? Right? And from that point, we were just friends. We became friends. Now, this individual is an incredible, incredible person. And I think about another week went by, and I just mentioned to her, I said, hey, so like, yeah, like I love God, I love Jesus. That's the number one thing in my life. It just came out in conversation because I was at home reading my Bible, at home staying close to God, listening to godly podcasts. And it was just all that was consuming my brain at this point. So whenever every conversation I had, God just poured out of me, right? So then she goes, yeah, like I love God too. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's so weird. She goes, yeah, like I go to church. I'm like, I go to church as well. I'm like, where do you go to church? She goes, oh, I go right up the street at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's where I go to church. What? She's like, yeah, I go at this time. And what time do you go? Oh, I go at this other time. I'm like, what? Like, how is this? Like, that's so weird. Same gym, same church. I've never seen her there. So I go, you know what? Is it cool? Like, next week we go together. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's totally do it. Then we started going to church together. And we still do till this day. And in that process, one thing I noticed about this individual is she was a very social person, very loving person to everyone, pretty much everybody that she would come in contact with, because it was just in her personality. And I'm convinced that, yes, part of it was her personality, but in addition to that, she also loves Jesus. She also is striving and pushing for herself to become closer and closer and closer to Jesus Christ. So with that, the Jesus inside of her just came out, and the Jesus inside of me just came out as well. And we exposed the Jesus inside of our hearts to each other, and we had a connection there. In the process, and in the time since I've known her, her social butterfly inside of her has been rubbing off onto me. So when I go to the gym now, I talk to this person, to that person, this person, that person, always putting God first in the conversations to connect, making a total new network of people and friends to connect with. And the beautiful heart of this individual has affected my heart. But I want to just say, again, I want to reiterate, it's not like some credit for her, absolutely. But the real credit is to Jesus Christ, because the Jesus in her heart is what touched the Jesus in my heart, is what's touching the Jesus in other people's hearts. And it's crazy because, I'm not really even going out there like just, spewing who Joe is. I'm going out there just spewing good, positive energy. I'm not out there like saying, hey, go believe in Jesus. You got to believe in, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm going out there just giving positive energy, making people feel good, making them, laugh, making people happy. Because Maya Angelou says, she goes, people might not always remember the things you do or remember the things you say, but they will always remember the way that you made them feel. And I can just see when I interact with people, people are naturally attracted to the goodness that I'm giving out to them, the heart that I'm giving out to them. And my heart now is rooted in Jesus Christ. It's crazy that it's 2025, 2026, and living here in Canada, people just feel that love of Jesus Christ. If you go back to year 12, right? People feel that love of that heart of good. It doesn't matter what race, what culture, what city you live in, what time you're living in. Goodness, it just transfers from person to person, and we're all attracted to that. So what my whole point is with the gym story and my friend is that at the end of the day, I would never have been attracted to this good person, and she would have never been attracted to my good heart either, had it not been for searching and working on ourselves in our quiet time, at home, for months, in the church, reading the Bible, journals, talking to God, praying. Had we not been working on ourselves months prior, I'm thankful that I became, and I'm striving to become somebody who is attracting other good people with the same heart in my life right now, and also giving that love to other people as well. So if you want to attract a good environment, good people around you, you need to work on yourself first and foremost. And I believe, honestly, firefighter, chef, whatever job you're trying to do, become better mother, father, husband, wife, whatever, finding yourself within Jesus at the beginning. If it begins with Jesus, it ends with Jesus. And everything in between is Jesus. Good things. Don't look at it so much as just like Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. What does Jesus stand for? Good things. Giving, loving, caring, empathy. and essentially loving other people the way that God loves you. And people feel that energy, and you will attract the right people, and God will bring them to you when you are ready, when you become that person. God will not bring you the wrong people or the right people in your life rather, when you're not ready, so you fumble them. He won't do that. He simply won't do that. And he might do it, and then if you can't handle it, you will fumble them, and you got to learn from that experience, and then you'll get another go around later, and hopefully you've learned from that. It takes a very strong person to be able to pick back up after fumbling something good and then getting back at it again. But at the end of the day, this big rant here is just about becoming the best version of yourself to begin with and attracting others through that. That is how you attract the right circles. Work hard, talk to God, pray every day, become the best version of you. That is the version that you want to be tomorrow. You will attract the right environment around you, and you guys will push each other to the next level. Just how this works, baby. This is just how it works. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Love you all. Have a great day. Love you guys. Take care.